that he used somebody that had been failing all night. Watch this here. Not to bless Peter, but to bless somebody else. We serve a God that's so good that you can be down and out, broke and disgusted, and God will place somebody in your life that you'll be the answer that they've been waiting for, and God will use you to bless them in spite of what you're going through. That's why, don't miss this here, your best ability. Now, my brother, he sang real good. As a matter of fact, he's so bad, he sang and played at the same time. But can I tell you that his best ability is not playing? His best ability is not singing. My brother over there, he was playing them drums and he was on point from rip. He was on point as they started and he caught every tune. But his best ability is not catching the rhythm. Can I tell you that your best ability is your availability? Because if you make yourself available for God, watch this here, he will turn around and then make himself available for you. Am I talking to anybody? Is anybody can be a witness that when you did something and you didn't feel like doing it, you didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway, and you found God showing up and showing out on your behalf? It's because when you make yourself available for God, God then will turn around and make himself available for you. What are you talking about, preacher? The text said that after he used Peter's ship, then he turned around and said, launch out. In other words, he didn't say, let me use your ship and I'm going to bless you. No, he said, let me use your ship to bless somebody else. And although he made himself available with not looking for anything in return, God turned around and blessed him with the greatest blessing that he had ever seen before. And you might be saying, how do you know it was the greatest blessing that he ever seen before? Because the first thing that came out of his mouth was, depart from me, because I'm an evil man. I don't deserve this what you've given me. And let me park right here just for a few moments. Because, the saints, sometimes, we are tripped sometimes. Because God will bless us, and then we'll begin to start feeling bad that God blessed us. And we'll go and try to make every excuse why we don't deserve to be blessed like we are. Can I help you out for a moment? You don't deserve it. But favor ain't fair. Am I talking to anybody? You're right, you don't deserve it. But because God decided to do it, I'm glad he is. Am I the only one that recognizes that I don't deserve everything? As a matter of fact, I don't deserve to be standing in this pulpit. I don't even be deserving to still be living. But since God decided to keep me, and since God decided to cover me, I'm going to bless him every chance I get. And if he decides to use me, I say, use me, Lord, how you see fit. Somebody say, favor ain't fair. Jump down to verse number 5 right quick. I promise y'all I'm almost around the corner. Verse number 5, the Bible says, Simon answered, Master, we've toiled all night and have taken nothing. But nevertheless, at your word, I will do it. Here is the first thing that we need to understand when our nets come up empty. Here's the first thing I want you to understand is that failure is not final. But the second thing that I want you to understand when your nets come up empty, you got to be willing to try it again. Y'all see that with me. Try it again. Here it is. They had been fishing all night and caught nothing. Wrapping everything up, Jesus entered the boat and says, let me use what you have in order to bless somebody else. That's one thing. But now here it is. He's pushing the envelope a little bit. He said, okay, now since you let me use your boat, now I want you to launch out a little bit in the deep and let down your nets again in the same water, using the same tools, expecting a different result. We got to be willing to try it again. Okay, let me make this a little practical. Everybody in here is familiar with WD-40. Everybody, every household might have WD-40. Now, the interesting thing about WD-40, it was designed down in Cape Canaveral at NASA. And the rocket scientist was trying to come up with something that would stop the grease from sticking to the metal parts of the rocket, so when the water flowed through, it would flow through cleanly. So they were trying to come up with something that would stop things from sticking to the metal that the water can flow through. So WD actually was designed down by NASA, and it was actually, the only thing WD stands for is water displacement. Now, that's not exciting, I know that. So y'all just work with me for a minute, I'm going somewhere. Water displacement, that's what WD-40 stands, that's what WD stands for. But the exciting part, and what's very interesting, is the 40. The 40 is the attempts it took in order for the scientists to get the material to do exactly what they wanted it to do. So in other words, they failed 39 times. And here's really the shock. And now, WD-40 is widely known and is a household product. You got a bicycle you ain't rode 15 years. And the chain is rusty. And it won't turn. Get you a can of WD-40 and it'll run just like it's brand new. You got a door in the house. Every time you open it, it squeaks. Get you a can of WD-40 and it'll open and close just like it was brand new. If I got any mechanics in the house, you know when you got an old car, you got some bolts that won't come off, they won't break, won't do nothing. Get you a can of WD-40, spray on it, and that nut'll come right off. What I'm trying to say is, now they say that WD-40 has over 2,000 uses. And the only reason it has 2,000 uses is because the scientists failed 39 times. What am I saying? What I'm saying that every failure is not a failure. Only thing it does, it opens up the door for something else to be prosperous in a different way. So the Bible says that when Peter decided to try it again, he was going against logic, and it's most of the times we think too much. Yes. Am I talking to anybody? Most of the times we worry about stuff don't need to be worried about. And all I'm telling you is to take him at his word. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care if you fail 39 times. Just try it one more time. And am I talking to anybody in the house that God has been telling you to do it, but you've been afraid to move because of the results you got the last time? Can I tell you that Peter had been fishing all night and caught absolutely nothing, but this time at the commandment of the Lord, he dropped that net and the catch was so great that the Bible says that the nets began to start breaking. Am I talking to anybody here today that God want to do something so great in your life that you're not going to even have the capacity to handle the things that God is about to break in your life? Here is something else. Here's the side point that I want you to understand, that when you're going into this